forget what we were talking about, but it came up the point that I was a gun guy. That I had a gun channel and I like guns. And this girl's like, "How many guns do you own?"
Who's asking?
Yeah, so I'm like, I got a couple. And they're like, "Wait, you got more than one?"
Yeah, I own enough to start a small army.
They're like, "What? Why would you need more than one?"
Well, so you can have a squad automatic weapon guy, right? He's gonna be a base of fire. They need a flanking element, so that's at least 4 AR-15s.
Yeah.
Then you're gonna have a point man, and you're gonna want some sort of breaching element. So you need like
The shotgun.
shotguns.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I told her, I got a shotgun, I got a handgun, or I got a couple handguns, I got, a semi-auto, and I got a couple revolvers.
Fully semi-automatic.
Yeah, fully semi-auto. I told her I got I got a couple rifles. So what? She's like, "Why do you need all those? You can only shoot one, maybe two at a time, right?"
In your case, yeah, just one.
So yeah, it's just one for me. Ass. But oh wait, what am I doing?
What are we doing?
I'll turn that on after. Like I told her, well, why do I need more than one or two guns? I was like, okay, well, at my house I have my Glock next to my bedside table, or not next to my bedside table.
Every time someone says Glock, I just always picture these mumble rappers in the background going.
Hey, did you know Post Malone's he's
a real gun guy.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
That's good shit.
Good for him.
That is good shit. But yeah, I told her, I got a Glock on my bedside table. So if anything happens at night, home invasion, who knows that I got that. And okay, well,
I trained my whole life for this.
She's like, "What are your other guns going to do for you? You got that, you already got your Glock, right?" I was
Invest.
Well, yeah, I didn't say that, but I was like, well, my guns are in a different room. So I'm going to use that pistol that I have, that Glock, to fight my way to the rifle. And it's not going to be a rifle. It's actually going to be another one of my
It's going to be a
AR
AT-4.
pistols. No. It's probably going to be my 300
Claymore?
Blackout. No.
It's not going to be Claymore?
300 Blackout with my can.
Satchel charge.
No. God damn it, dude. No, it's just going to be the 300 Blackout with the can. And
see, I've thought about that too, using a can in a self-defense aspect. So at the house, I've decided if someone's trying to break into my house, I want everybody to hear. So that way, because I might not have the ability or the time to call the police as soon as I hear it, but as soon as the first, 15 shots go off rapidly, I guarantee you one of the neighbors will be calling the police.
Yeah, late at night, yeah.
Yeah, if it's just one or two, people are just like, he's being a douche nozzle or something, right? But if you all of a sudden hear, then someone's going to be calling the police.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God.
Like, for me, I think concussion, the concussive forces of the break inside, it would kind of suck.
It's going to suck regardless.
Yeah.
I shot my suppressor at an indoor range, which is tragic because I can't shoot it inside a house right now. But that indoor range had larger volume rooms, and I still felt more pressure, especially coming back at me with my suppressor because it's a direct impingement.
Yeah.
So, yes, it might help with the sound, but you got to remember you're in a much more confined space now.
But your direct impingement really isn't direct. It's a hybrid.
Mine?
Yeah.
No, mine's direct impingement.
Which rifle are you talking about?
My Knight's rifle.
Yeah, it's a hybrid.
It's not a hybrid.
It's a hybrid.
It's no hybrid.
Yeah. Like the Egyptian Hakim or the Swedish Lugman, old Milsurp rifles. Those are direct impingement, meaning the gas is directly hitting the bolt carrier and throwing it back, and that's what cycles it.
Yeah.
Because AR-15 is half direct impingement, half piston, because the gas is going to the expansion chamber, and the bolt. No, the bolt. The bolt is like a piston because it has those 3 gas rings, right?
Right.
Without those gas rings,
I just get rid of them. I don't need them.
One pop pony. That's what I need.
Pop.
One trick.
Cycle. That's how you become a hitman.
Yeah, like
you retain the brass. Pop. Get to a safe spot.
All you gotta do is put one of those brash catchers on the other side.
And you got a little nutsack hanging out, it's jingling around. Ching, 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 ching.
Put styrofoam in there. Push it up.
That's stupid.
But like, okay, you know, what were we talking about? Fighting our way to a rifle,
Yeah.
a home invasion, whether it's good to use a can or not.
I mean, it's gonna be personal preference. I just think to get the appropriate authorities there quickly. Hopefully, one of the neighbors can call the cops, because I'll be calling the cops after I assessed the threat, right, and deemed myself the victor or whatever.
Standing with a flag, just
Yeah, I always keep an American flag in my vest for that reason.
please pull up your. There's a stacked bodies up
Yeah.
front lawn.
It's like a scene out of Hot Shots.
Oh Jesus!
But no, I just think that you know, I want to get through the gunfight first, and if by chance, I don't know, there's family members staying over or whatever, then maybe they'll be more apt to join in the fun, because it'll wake everybody up at once. Because I mean, you know, you think when we're back in the military, we could just flip a switch and then whole base is on alert, right? Everybody's
Whole base is on alert. Then everyone has to stand in line in an arms room and
get guns.
yeah.
Yeah, but we could do that. So it'd be nice to have that type of ability at the house. And that's the cool thing with having a spouse who is also in the military, is you guys can train together.
Yeah.
And a lot of her building blocks are already there for us. So a lot of it is just us practicing our techniques, clearing through different rooms, you know?
Yeah, I got a combat lifesaver.
Yeah.
So I'm thankful.
Which is not a bad thing either.
Yeah, it's not. It's actually very, very helpful sometimes.
And I've actually thought about this. If somebody were to invade my home, I might be inclined to administer first aid to them. Just that way they can suffer the rest of their lives knowing that the guy that could have killed them also saved them. And maybe it'd be like a learning point for them to maybe change their ways while they sit in jail for however long.
You hear about the school in Florida?
Which one?
The one they just hired I don't know if it was one or a couple. They just hired a veteran.
Oh yeah, for security.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably one of the smartest things that we could do, because we already know what pre-incident indicators look like. You know, we've already been in those firefights. Because a lot of people, I was getting a haircut when I was down in Florida on Christmas, and there was another barber there, not the one that was cutting my hair, but he was, you know, being the quintessential gangster, like, oh, I'm 40 years old, but I still punch someone in their gut. They say some shit like that. Right? Getting all like, who the fuck you talking to, dude? Like, we're all just getting our haircut. Like,
belligerent.
Yeah. Like, man, I shoot some motherfucker. They come up in my shit. It's like, first off, dude, I have a gun right here. Like, you wouldn't even see me coming.
Yeah.
Like, shut the fuck up. And the barber that was cutting my hair, I noticed, had a little state of Florida with a merge with a Glock and said the Gunshine State. Like, that's dope. But I was like, hey, what's up with that dude over there? And so he's like, yeah, he's just a fucking talker. He's like, everybody in here is a concealed carry holder except for that faggot.
Probably can't. Who knows?
Yeah, exactly. And then he gets in a story about how he can't, but he bought a gun anyway, so he tries to act tough, blah, blah, blah. Just trying to be a thug. It's like, people like that crack me up, because you'll never, ever... They don't know how to be in that situation, and I would guarantee you...
They'd be the first to lock up.
They'd be the first... Yeah, they'd freeze.
Yeah.
I mean, they'd be lucky as fuck if they run.
I'm not gonna lie. The first time I got shot at in Iraq, I locked up. Like, when I was on the ground.
Yeah. Was it from, like, just shock that, like, oh my god, this is real? Or was it like, holy fuck, what are they doing? Like,
like
disbelief almost? Like, why are you shooting
it
at
was
me?
disbelief, because me and a buddy were walking to the little shopette to get something to drink.
Oh, the good old PX.
Yeah. It happened in Mosul.
Oh, Mosul.
Yeah. And it was
beautiful place, untouched. It's not really.
Yeah.
It's a shithole.
Like, Mosul, I think one of the big incidents that happened in Mosul was the chow hall that got blown up. Oh, yeah. And it was right around that time frame. So Mosul was still pretty much Wild West. Mm-hmm. And we're on the fob. We're right by the airfield, and there's a little shopette there. So we figure we're good. Really weren't. Still.
The false sense of security. Like, you walk into a trailer. Oh, this is safe.
Yeah. You know, like, I got launched out of my bunk from a mortar in Mosul. Yeah. And it landed right next to our little trailer that we slept in, you know.
Sleeping in wood shacks at night. Oh, this is so safe. I'm so glad I'm home.
But well, yeah. So
You know what's funny is like because of that threat, I remember like every time I would go to Iraq, we would develop like the combat shit cycle. And that means you just wait and wait until the very last second, because I will be damned if I get hit while in a fucking porta-john.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because all that shit in there, like, so I would just wait until I absolutely like was turtling, just run to the porta-john, drop a deuce, and then get out. I'd be out in under a minute.
Yeah. Like,
ain't catching me there.
Like in Mosul, the time that I, you know, like froze was like being in aviation, even though, you know, we're special operations aviation, we were not like regular aviation where they just are on a fob and they go to the airfield, you know. Yeah. We're on a fob within a fob, like on the edges.
Extra layers. Skirty. So you felt a little bit more safe. In Mosul, it really wasn't like that, because right there at the strip, north ramp, maybe 500 yards was the Tigris River. Yeah, well, I think it was the Tigris.
Yeah,
right. I always get the Tigris and Euphrates mixed up.
It was the Tigris.
Yeah,
it smells so bad.
It smells the worst. Have you seen the people
in the morning going to chow? You wouldn't smell it. You eat breakfast, you're like, yeah.
You get out and you want to throw up.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's terrible.
I saw recently, like, apparently it was a trend, and I'm really mad that I never thought of this, but soldiers, would go and fish out of the Tigris Euphrates. They were catching big ass fish. Why didn't I think of that?
I'm not going to do that.
You're at Club Iraq. Let's go fishing.
Yeah, but I mean, everyone uses that.
Yeah, the shit, poo poo, feces, doo doo on the wall.
And it smells like it too. It
smells like a toilet, but worse. It's like, imagine a porta-john that's been shit in and filled to the brim, and then left alone for like 5 years.
In the desert.
Well, 100 years maybe.
To bake.
People have been shitting that river for as long as recorded history.
Yeah.
Because it's technically the center, like.
I don't think, well, they say.
I think it's they call it the cradle of civilization, right? Because Mesopotamia came from there.
I think it might have been Indus Valley.
Do you think so?
Yeah. But that's way off topic of the.
I mean, we're not really on a topic.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, I did when I got frozen in.
Frozen.
So, you know, being on a compound inside of a fob,
right,
close to the airfield, you know, thought we were safe. So we were just wearing our shorts, t-shirt when we weren't doing stuff, right? So we're just shorts, t-shirt.
You
cap.
lose. That's weird, like, because you're in that bubble, you lose the fact that you're in a war zone.
Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't until I got shot at, and then after Mosul went to Al-Assad, Iraq.
Oh, Al-Assad. Oof.
It wasn't until, and that was still in like 2004, 2005, so it was still rough. It wasn't until then that I was like, holy shit, I'm at war, because it didn't click, you know. But yeah, so me and my buddy were walking to the little
The PX, you said?
Not even a PX. It was just like a.
What was it? Was it Bazaar?
Little shopette. It was just a little shopette. Not a Bazaar.
Oh yeah, just the little corner thing.
Yeah, you had a little shopette, and you had also that little strip mall where you could get kind of like fast food, like their fast food. Yeah, fake Big Macs and Whoppers.
Yeah, faux Macs, what we call them.
So bad. But so we're walking. We're walking to that shopette to get something to drink, and me and him are walking and talking like pretty much the same distance.
Yeah.
Me and you are. And, you know, we're looking back and forth, laughing, and then you know they always tell you when you get shot at, you hear the snap.
Yeah.
Then you'll hear the rapport. So it was a little snap, 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 and we looked at each other like, no.
Pop, pop, pop.
What the? And then we hit the pavement, ricochets. We're like, oh shit! And we dove, behind a Hesco. And they had brought the fight to the fob.
Good for them.
Yeah.
I remember my first deployment to Iraq. The very first time I heard a mortar go off, because we were in Balad at the time, and Balad was a little different. We had our own compound, but it was like we were on the opposite side of the airfield, so I didn't really feel like it was a compound in a compound.
Closer to the Air Force.
Yeah. but it was like
Well, it kind
it
of
felt
was
a little safer, but it wasn't like I felt completely safe because
Yeah.
when I went to Balad, there was still like it was just a chain link fence on the perimeter. So like there was the mortar went off because I remember me and my platoon sergeant at the time were fixing a generator, and I didn't know anything about generators. You know, I still barely knew the helicopter at this point, and we're just fucking around in these wires, and I hear boom, and it's getting closer, and it's kind of like walking across the airfield towards us, and I just stood there, and like at one part it was like, oh wow, I made it, I'm in war, I'm in combat, and the other part was like, I wonder what they're aiming at, you know. It's like all the other, like in that sense it was kind of like it was a freeze because I was like, what, like no way, it was just disbelief.
Yeah.
And then I remember these Air Force kids in their full battle rattle, and they're just like in this little bunker, and they're like, hey, get out of the open, get away from the it's gonna blow up if they hit it. And I looked over at the team sergeant, I'm like, should we like get in there with them? Like, he's like, no man, let's keep working.
Yeah.
Like, if you're gonna die, you're gonna die. Like, do you want to die as a bitch in a hole, or do you want to die out here trying to fix something? I'm like, oh, good point.
Yeah, I can't remember one time ever getting into the little barriers.
Yeah, I take that back. The one time in Afghanistan when we got almost overrun,
No.
we had to use those as fighting positions.
Yeah, like I remember one time in Balad, the sirens went off. I was just walking past their CBs, and they're like,
What are you doing? Get in.
I was like,
What are you doing? Get in.
Gotta go to the chow hall real
Bro,
quick.
Chow's only on for another half hour.
And then you heard what are those things called? Freaking R2D2 with a boner.
Oh, yeah, the phalanx system.
Yeah. Saw them.
Oh, one of those
Heard them.
phalanx operators. Fuck you, by the way. Because I was running one morning, and it went and locked on him as I was running, and I stopped, and it stopped, and then I kept running, and I was like sure, it's a funny joke to lock onto somebody, but I could see the belt of ammunition that was live going into that. That's not funny.
Yeah,
He pointed a loaded gun at me.
Man, that's an asshole.
Yeah.
Right there.
If I ever find that motherfucker, I possess a very rare, particular set of skills.